Hi there, checking we're live, everything looks okay. Apologies before if you saw me doing strange things. I pressed play on the video by mistake, sorry about that. I've deleted it now. Anyway, welcome to today's Yin Yoga session on bringing some rest, calm and ease into your life. Yin Yoga can be really fantastic for all of these things. So basically that's what we're going to do today. So we're continuing on the theme that we're doing this week, which is called Moving with the Times. Each of the sessions that I'm doing this week are particularly focused on the time of day that they're being held in the UK. So Monday's Yin Yang Yoga session was all about being at lunchtime, was about energizing the body, getting the mind working as well, and then today being at 6 p.m. in the UK, we are, hi Linda, hi Helen, we're working on bringing ourselves down and resting, calming after a hard day's work. So let's get going. We are going to start in butterfly position. So if you just want to sit on the floor with the knees bent. If you've got a block, by the way, or a book, two ideally, then they would be really helpful today. So then just grab those. Sit on the floor, knees bent, bring the soles of the feet together. And then fold, actually straight first and then fold forward. Doesn't matter how far you go, as long as you're feeling a stretch in the legs. Now we're going for a stretch in the inside thighs. If you're feeling anything that is uncomfortable in the knees, what I would suggest is bringing the feet a bit further forward or perhaps a bit further back, or try separating the feet however much you need to. If any of that still isn't working, then you can always support the knees, you can always put something underneath the knees, and then when you've found your position, just fold forward. We're going to stay here for around 3 minutes. 8 people there. Please do say hello if you haven't started the practice already, but hopefully you have. You may find, if any of you have brought your feet forward, that can change the stretch, probably will change where you're feeling the stretch in the legs. It may start to move further out. Hi Andrea, good afternoon. Now if you have any neck issues, or if you just don't want to drop the head, then by all means, you don't need to. Dropping the head, of course, gives a stretch on the neck as well as the rest of the spine. But if that's not working, then by all means, bring the head up. You could even look up a bit if you wanted to have more of a stretch on the throat. And what I'd like you to do today to ease this idea of relaxation is to use the breath and the gravity to really pay attention to this today, to help you drop deeper into these poses without forcing yourself into them. So if you'd like to just start deepening the breath to a comfortable amount, not very long, but just a bit longer. Just notice, start counting how many counts are in, how many counts are out. And as you breathe out, your slower breath, just allow your body to relax into the pose. We still want to feel that stretch in the legs and hopefully in the back. But we want to see if we can use that breath to help us drop deeper in. And allowing gravity to naturally bring us down. Okay, so we've been in for around 3 minutes now. So if you just want to slowly come up, we're just going to have a brief rebound. So bring the knees up and just put the legs out straight. And you can put the hands on the floor behind you. Close your eyes and notice how the legs feel, how the back feels. The rebound is so important in Yin Yoga. And with our theme today of bringing rest to the body and the mind, ease and calm, these are things that may come up, maybe, in the rebound. Because this, in an energetic sense, is when the chi becomes free. And it may bring up certain feelings, calm, maybe energy, maybe just a feel of release, relaxation. This may happen, it may not, but just notice if it does. And as this is a short practice, our rebounds are unfortunately going to be a bit shorter. I didn't have the heart to move little socks today, by the way. So we're going to move into square pose. So with the right leg in front, move as if you're going to cross your legs, and you may in fact find that crossing your legs is enough for you. But I'll show you the square position. So crossing your legs, and then bring your shins a bit forward so that they are in a kind of square position. Remember, this is how my legs look, and my shins are quite long. So you may not look like this, but basically cross legs, bring the shins forward a bit in some kind of a square position. Then fold forward again. So what we're looking for here this time is we're looking for a stretch in the outside right hip, perhaps going deeper, going further down the side of the leg. Now, if you're finding that you're not really feeling it, then you might want to try moving slightly one way or the other. We are going to actually move to the sides in a minute, so don't go too far. But see if that just helps to give you a little bit more stretch in the side of the right leg. And again, allow your breath, your deep breath, to help you relax into the pose. And again, if you're feeling anything, you don't want to feel any pain, you want to feel that stretch in the side of the leg. It's okay to stay in for a couple of minutes, but it shouldn't be too much, and it certainly shouldn't be hurting. If, again, you've got any problems with the knees and they need support, just put something underneath them. And you can always play with the position of the legs as well. So for example, you can bring the knees a bit closer to each other so the feet are going further out, or the opposite, the knees going further away and the feet going closer together, and then fold forward. So if anything's feeling painful, if you're not really getting that stretch or not getting enough, or it's too much, I would suggest playing with the position of the legs. We're going to be here for another minute or so, but then we are going to move the torso. So I would recommend making sure that you're in the position that's working for you. Again, same with the head. Drop the head down if you want to, but you don't have to. So we're going to keep the legs as they are, but I want you to walk over. So now you are folded over the left leg. Pay attention to how that feels in the right leg. Has that given you more stretch there? Less? Has it moved to a different place? Has it got longer or shorter? How's it feeling? For me, for example, that goes much more into the side of my back. It's still in the leg, it's still in the glutes, but it's more in my back. So just see how it is for you. That's not that it's right with me, that's just my experience. Notice your experience. And you can move the position of the head as well if you wanted to, so you've got more of a stretch on the side of the neck this time, just for this last minute or so. Use that breath to go deeply into the pose, allowing gravity to bring you down. And then just take 3 more breaths without rushing them, still keeping the body relaxed. And then after the 3rd breath, I want you just to come up. And then bring the knees up. And you can either straighten the legs out again or you can have them bent. Put the hands wherever is comfortable. And before we move to the other side, again, the rebound. Close your eyes. Notice any energetic effects. Anything if you feel calm or energized or anything at all. But also what we do with these long-held static poses, these yin poses, in a physical sense, is because we are in them for a number of minutes, then it gives us an opportunity to slowly release tension in the body. So patterns of tension. Maybe, for example, you have a tendency to hold your shoulders tight when you're sitting, when you're stressed, resulting in the feeling of tension in your shoulders or maybe headaches. And in Yin Yoga, with these long-held, deep stretches, we've got more opportunity to try and release that tension that can be held in the connective tissue. So let's move to the other side. Left leg in front this time, which may feel a bit weird. As I said, if crossing legs and folding forward is right for you, do that. Fine. For square, bring the shins a bit further forward and then fold forward. Remember, in all of these poses, you may look completely different to me, and that doesn't matter. What matters is that you are feeling that stretch in the side of the leg. And if you aren't, move the torso slightly to one side, to the right, to the left. And then see, we want to get a stretch here that is something you can stay in for. It's going to be about 4 minutes in total. That is mild to moderate. Play with the legs if necessary, as we did before, moving the knees further away or closer together. And again, if the knees need support, put something underneath them. Yin Yoga is not relaxing as such. It can actually be a very challenging practice. We're not used to staying still for a number of minutes. And of course our minds have a tendency to go a bit bonkers as well when we are in stillness. So that can also be very challenging. So with Yin, as I said, you want to feel a mild to moderate sensation in a particular area, in the target area, in this case in the side of the left leg, the glutes, the side of the bum. We don't want it to be relaxing as such, but what we are trying to do is when we come out in the rebound and after the practice, then that is the time that we may well feel really relaxed, calm, at ease, maybe sleep better. This is the idea, not necessarily in the practice as such. This is not restorative yoga. This is Yin Yoga. It's all about the rebound, about that rest period. Then we're going to walk over to the right. So we're kind of folding over the right leg or thereabouts. Paying attention, noticing where you're feeling it in the left side. Is it still in the same place? Or has it moved? Is it more? Is it less? If it's too much, then adjust the pose. If it's too much, you can always come up. Or you can move a bit more towards the middle again. Play with it, make it yours. No pain, but stimulation. And again,
Keeping those breaths smooth, slow. Just those last few breaths, just see if on the out breath you can allow your body to drop naturally deeper into the pose. Noticing how that can really intensify the stretch, but without you pushing. So you're being receptive here. And then on the next out breath, come up.
And again, I want you just to sit with the legs out in front of you. So I don't know if you heard that click or not, but I just had a click in my leg. That is fine. That actually is something that I was talking about before, when you are releasing some tension that's built up in the body, and it's released. And that's good. That's a good thing. So this neutral rebound. Noticing any physical effects, any energetic effects. And if your mind has started in any of these poses or in the rebound, thinking, which is very possible because that's what minds have a tendency to do, then instead of latching onto those thoughts, just see if it's possible to watch them like a film. They're there. You're not getting involved. I'm not saying that's necessarily easy. Just have a go. And just for the last one, we're just going to have a counter pose. So staying where you are, bringing the hands together. So what's happening here is you're opening up the chest. So you can move the positions of the hands. You can move them further back if you want. You can move them closer to the body. And what we're looking for here, just for the last couple of minutes, is to open up the front of the chest. So the closer they are to you, then the more that's going to open up the chest. But do pay attention to the wrists. Having it very close to you, for example, may not be comfortable. So if that's the case, I would suggest, Alan, for example, move them further away. And you can always rotate their hands as well. If you wanted to, you can have their hands facing towards you, to the sides. Just opening up that chest, bringing a bit of an arch in the spine. Close the eyes. Our target area here is opening the chest. And we're also compressing the arms and the shoulders. And compression in this yin way, in this slow, passive way, can actually be really beneficial for the tissues of the body. Notice if you can feel that. Putting a load on the joints, but in a yin way. And then And just experiment for the last 30 seconds or so, maybe moving very, very slightly, swaying a bit to the left, a bit to the right. Noticing how the arms and the shoulders feel when you're doing this. So we're bringing a little bit of yang within the yin, a little bit of movement, but we're doing it in a very focused way. We're noticing the movements and we're noticing the effects that the movements have, rather than just doing it automatically without thinking, which is what we do with so much of our lives. And then go back into stillness again just for the last 30 seconds. Deep breath, allowing the body to relax deeper into the pose with the out breath. And then when you're ready, gently bring the arms up. And we're going to lie in our final rebound in Shavasana. Or if you prefer, you can move into a neutral seated position. You choose, as long as it's relaxed and it's neutral. There's no pressure on anything. You're not really stretching anything. Choose your position for the last few minutes. Make sure that you're comfortable. Make sure that you're warm. And please don't brace off yet. Just give yourself these last couple of minutes. And again, notice. Close the eyes. Notice any effects. How's your body now compared to when you started? How's your mind? And in a minute or so, I'm going to ring a bell or a bowl. Just wait for the sound to die away completely. And then in your own time, join me here in a seated position if you aren't there already. So just making your way slowly, calmly, without rushing, back to a seated position. And if you're there already, then just close your eyes. Bring the arms out to the sides. Bring them up, palms together, down in front of the heart, grazing the forehead, the nose, the lips. Down in front of the heart. Just taking a deep breath in. Breathing out through the mouth. Allowing the body to relax, ready for rest. And namaste. Thank you for joining me, for coming back, or if it's your first time. Tomorrow evening I will be doing a longer Yin Yoga immersion class, which is specifically for sleep. So it's an extension of what we've done today, but specifically for sleep. If anyone's having trouble with sleep, or if you just really like a really restful, relaxing session, then just check my events page. I'll put the link on this after we've finished as well. Please do come along. This one's held on Zoom, so I will be able to see you and make some individualized suggestions. That's the great thing about Zoom. Otherwise, I hope to see you next week. Thanks, Andrea. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Always a pleasure to have you here. And thank you everyone else for coming.